I have this drive as an artist to create art and share it with people. This is how I was born and how, kind of how I'm wired.
Palm Springs City Council meeting about Robolights, how the meeting could impact this year's light show.
Suspicious packages sent to several top Democrats, including former presidents. What investigators are saying about the threat.
And millions more dollars up for grabs tonight in the Powerball. We have the numbers to see if you are the lucky winner.
KESQ, the desert's news leader. This is News Channel 3 at 11.
Good evening, I'm Karen Devine.
And I'm John White. The future of an annual holiday display in Palm Springs is up in the air tonight. Neighbors who live in the Movie Colony District got together tonight to talk about the growing popularity of Robolights. News Channel 3's Lauren Coronado is live in Palm Springs with more on the very different views on this holiday display. And Lauren, there's a lot of traffic that comes into the neighborhood because of this, certainly a lot of noise, also just the lights. So it's something that neighbors have to deal with.
Yeah, the display has gained so much global attention. Some neighbors say the street is just too crowded, but a lot of people are also in support, so a lot of mixed emotions. And I want to show you the creator of Robolights is already starting to set up. He's pretty confident that this area will be lit up again come the holiday season.
It does bring a lot of joy, and it's my hope to make the world a little better place than the way I found it, and this is my way of doing it as an artist.
Kenny Irwin is the man behind Robolights, the holiday display attracting tens of thousands to this Palm Springs neighborhood for about 6 weeks during the holiday season. But its increasing popularity has some neighbors frustrated.
It's just a zoo. It's a riot, is what it is. It's not controlled. It's not regulated.
The city of Palm Springs proposing a set of requirements for Irwin to abide by, including implementing a shuttle service. Spectators would be picked up from Ruth Hardy Park and shuttled to the display, costing Irwin upwards of $100,000.
We don't think it would be fair for us to have to pay 500% more in cost for these additional terms and conditions that the city wants to have.
Dayton Parcell is Irwin's attorney and is proposing to charge spectators $5 per person to pay for the shuttle service. He says any excess money collected would be donated to the Desert AIDS Project, but the city is shutting that idea down.
We're never going to be okay with you collecting money for this event because that now makes it a business enterprise in a residential neighborhood.
Parcell arguing the proposed conditions are inconsistent with the settlement agreement in 2017, but according to Palm Springs City Attorney, that's false. Sending me this addendum, reading in part, city involvement with the Robolight event may vary from the 2017 process, along with addressing safety and welfare concerns. But Parcell is confident the display will shine on.
I have every confidence that Robolights will appear as it has the last 32 years and bring joy and happiness to everyone.
This has been in and out of the courts since its inception, and it will not move forward unless they can come to terms with the regulations that the city's requested.
I have this drive as an artist to create art and share it with people. This is how I was born and how, kind of how I'm wired.
And back out here live, this isn't your average holiday display. If you kind of look into the display itself, it's actually a walkthrough, so spectators can really get a look at all of the art that you heard him talking about. Now, it doesn't look like the city or Irwin will be reaching an agreement anytime soon, which could land them back in court. Reporting live in Palm Springs, I'm Lauren Coronado.
Thank you, Lauren. We're continuing to follow two shootings in Desert Hot Springs. The first one happening in the area of Pearson Boulevard and Palm Drive. A car window was shot out and police found evidence of a shooting there. When News Channel 3 arrived on scene, police could be seen helping a woman run from a building. Tactical teams surrounded the business, asking for a man to leave. Eventually, officers went inside and found the man was already gone. Police are not releasing a description tonight. And while that was going on, Desert Hot Springs police got a call of a home invasion robbery in the 13,500 block of Cerrito Way in a neighborhood near Two Bunch Palms Trail and Miracle Hill. The homeowner suffered some gunshot wounds to the legs and was rushed to the hospital. Police are looking for clues in that case and have not released a description.
Police arrested a 14-year-old in connection to reported threats of a school shooting at Beaumont High School. Police tell us extra precautions were taken today after the Beaumont Unified School District Administration was notified about an alleged threat on social media referencing BHS. Now, police don't know whether BHS was in reference to Beaumont High School or Banning High School. Officers acted with an abundance of caution, they say, and remained on Beaumont High School's campus for the school day. Officials say there's no confirmed threat at this time. Stay with News Channel 3 as we continue to track any new developments.
We're learning about another armed robbery in the East Valley. It happened early this morning. The Castaneda's Mexican restaurant on Harrison Street near Avenue 52 in Coachella was robbed around 4:20 this morning. You can see a man with a gun walk in and take money. No one was injured. That robber took off. No word from authorities on whether this holdup is linked to another one at Castaneda's in Palm Springs a couple of weeks ago. You can see the robber in that case on the right side of the screen. That man directed an employee to that register and demanded all of the cash. It's difficult to tell if these are the same people, but if you know anything about either holdup, call police.
All lanes are back open side on Interstate 10 after an SUV towing a trailer rolled over, backing up traffic. This was the scene during the evening commute. At one point, 3 of 4 of the westbound lanes were closed. The crash happened around 4 this afternoon. We caught up with the driver who was involved in this crash, who described what happened.
Well, we were driving, and I guess we had gotten in between a couple trucks, and the pull from the both of them and the trailer, it must have, I don't know, it's like the trailer's actually been pretty weak because it had a lot of water damage that we didn't know about. And like, it seemed like it just kind of lifted it up and put it on its side, and that was that.
The interstate was cleared and all lanes were back open in a little more than an hour.
We're staying warm and dry weather-wise. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Haley Clausen is tracking your conditions. Haley, looks like we can expect a lot of sunshine for the next couple of days.
We certainly can. Now, we started off this day with some clouds overhead. They cleared quickly, and we're still dealing with those clear conditions right now, and it's all thanks to high pressure building in. Now, in my complete First Alert forecast, I'll be breaking that down and what else we can anticipate as this ridge builds overhead. But what you need to know about for tonight is that we have a full moon out there. And the full moon, the first full moon for October, is called the Hunter's Moon. So step outside, you're not going to have any clouds obstructing your view. Snap a picture and you can always share it with us at share@KESQ.com. Now, today was a very warm day. Tomorrow, very similar. We're dealing with a warming trend that will even take us into the weekend. A look at all of those numbers coming up in just a few minutes.
We'll see in a bit. Thank you, Haley. Officials say there is no jackpot winner for tonight's $620 million Powerball drawing, setting the stage now for another huge drawing on Saturday night. This after a $1.6 billion Mega Millions jackpot last night. Tonight's winning numbers for Powerball were 3, 21, 45, 53, 56, and the Powerball is 22. Lottery officials estimate Saturday's drawing will now be at least $750 million. In last night's Mega Millions drawing, there was just one single winner, with the tickets selling in Simpsonville, South Carolina. We may never know who the lucky winner is. South Carolina, one of 7 states that do not require lottery winners to be publicly identified.
That's a good thing, I think. National Prescription Take Back Day is this weekend.
Next on News Channel 3, what federal agents are saying about the importance of properly disposing of prescription drugs.
And Congressman Raul Ruiz saying that he's working to fight the opioid epidemic. An update on legislation signed into law by President Trump. You're watching KESQ, the Desert's news leader.
Saturday is National Prescription Drug Take Back Day. Palm Springs police are encouraging people to bring in their expired prescription drugs to the Palm Springs Police Station between 10 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon on Saturday. Proper disposal of medication, they say, is a public safety issue.
We take back any unwanted or unused prescription drugs, no questions asked, and we take custody of them, and then we take them to an EPA-approved incinerator for destruction.
Unused prescription medications often find their way into the hands of children, pets, or adults who were not prescribed the medication and are not aware of the impacts. Oftentimes, the side effects could lead to serious illness or even death. The disposal is free with no questions asked.
President Trump has signed into law a bill to help battle the opioid crisis. President Trump saying the issue comes from the illicit drugs that are coming in over the southern border. 30,000 people died from synthetic opioids last year alone. The bill that the president signed today also includes a bill that Congressman Dr. Raul Ruiz co-authored, which will help improve treatment outcomes for seniors with opioid use disorder and expand treatment for providers here at home.
And our seniors deserve nothing but the best, and they should no longer be suffering in silence. We should bring them out of the shadows and help those seniors who want treatment with opioid addiction.
Congressman Ruiz says the bill that was signed is a bipartisan deal that will help people who are addicted to opioids around the country. Well, Republican Kimberlyn Brown-Pelzer, who is running against Congressman Ruiz in November, says she agrees that we need to expand access to opioid abuse treatment, but claims Ruiz voted to cut Medicare by $700 billion. Congressman Ruiz's office responded saying Dr. Ruiz has never voted to cut Medicare and has been, quote, consistent champion for Medicare.
A Fresno man apparently went overboard trying to kill black widow spiders in his parents' home. The man accidentally started a house fire after using a blowtorch to kill the spiders last night. He was house sitting for his parents at the time. Firefighters say he made it out safely and no one was injured in this. More than 24 firefighters responded and put out the fire, which damaged the second story and the attic. So, good news, Mom and Dad. Got rid of the black widows.
Several federal agencies are involved in the investigation of the numerous suspicious packages addressed to politicians around the country today.
Next on News Channel 3, what officials are revealing about the investigation so far.
We have clear skies overhead, and we'll be enjoying these type of conditions even into our Thursday. It's all thanks to a big red dome that I'm about to show you on a map coming up in my complete first alert forecast. We'll also be taking a quick look ahead at next week. In 1 week, it's Halloween. What type of weather will we have? I'll let you know. Up next, you're watching KESQ, the Desert's news leader.
A series of suspicious packages containing explosive devices sent to multiple locations across the country, including the home of Bill and Hillary Clinton in New York, the Obamas in Washington, D.C., and CNN headquarters in New York City. 2 of those packages sent to California Congressman Maxine Waters. One intercepted at a mail sorting facility outside of Washington. The other found at a mail facility in South Central Los Angeles. Linda Lopez has the latest on the investigation.
Well, that means
just before 10:30 this morning, CNN live on the air. Then this.
That sounds like a fire alarm here. We'll keep you posted on that.
A pipe bomb addressed to former CIA Director John Brennan discovered in the mailroom. The area locked down, the bomb squad moving in. At least 6 suspicious packages sent to critics of President Trump. Brennan placing part of the blame on the president.
I think Donald Trump too often has helped to incite some of these feelings of anger, if not violence.
The Secret Service revealing they intercepted 2 packages. One sent to Hillary and Bill Clinton's home in Chappaqua, New York. The other addressed to President Obama's home in Washington, D.C., discovered before it reached his home. Then word of more devices. 2 sent to California Congresswoman Maxine Waters, and another to former Attorney General Eric Holder. But that one sent back to the return address that was falsely listed as the office of former DNC chair Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And 2 days ago, a similar device sent to the home of billionaire George Soros. While the bombs did not detonate, investigators believe they are dangerous and fear the intent of the senders was to maim or kill. At a political rally in Wisconsin, the president seeming to tone down the rhetoric, but still critical of the media.
The media also has a responsibility to set a civil tone and to stop the endless hostility and constant negative and oftentimes false attacks and stories.
Multiple federal agencies now investigating. Law enforcement sources also saying today that they are still concerned that there may be other devices still working their way through the postal system. Linda Lopez, ABC News, New York.
Although no local threats have been reported here at home, police say they do have protocols in place for responding to potential bomb threats.
Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Haley Clausen.
We have been experiencing some very warm fall weather this week. So let's throw it back in weather history and cool down a little bit. It was on this date in 1951 that Palm Springs recorded a low temperature of 30 degrees. Now, not only is that the lowest temperature on record for the month of October in the city, but it's also the earliest freeze on record. We don't drop below freezing too often, but 51, that certainly brought it. Looking back over the past few days, far from freezing. Afternoon highs well above seasonal norms. For today's date, that would be 86 degrees. No, we've been in the 90s, and today we even warmed up by another degree. 94 this afternoon in Palm Springs, and we're not done yet. As we continue through this week, temperatures will continue to rise into Friday and Saturday. Those will be the hottest days this week, and it's all thanks to a ridge of high pressure. Here's the ridge. It's building across the eastern Pacific. It's going to be setting itself up right over Southern California. And that's the reason that we're warm and dry and dealing with light winds. Not too bad. Check out our winds right now. Calm conditions being reported all across the Coachella Valley. Nice and light. And that's exactly how we're going to be keeping things in the days moving forward. But right now our winds are out of the west to northwest. As we continue, these winds will actually begin to shift to have more of an offshore flow, so arriving at us from the northeast, the east. That's going to be helping us remain nice and dry, just like we have been. Now, we always talk about our dew point temperatures. This is a measure of how much moisture we're working with. The lower this number, the drier it is. Today, we were hanging out in the 30s. Well, as we continue into tomorrow, low 30s, it'll be nice and dry, but continuing to dry out even into Friday as those numbers begin to drop down into the 20s. Yes, it's going to be dry, but Friday and Saturday will also be the hottest days this week. Planning your Thursday, lots of sunshine. Again, staying dry, staying warm. Sunset is coming earlier and earlier. 6 o'clock for tomorrow. Get ready. Temperatures will still be nice and warm as we continue throughout the evening, though. And for your 7-day forecast, well, there's the numbers. Rising up, getting warmer and warmer. But Sunday is the pivotal day. That's when we begin to feel a trough of low pressure dip down from the northwest, and that's going to be cooling us off down into the low 90s by Monday, and then the 80s for the rest of the week. It is going to be fantastic out there for Wednesday. 1 week from today, that's Halloween, and it'll feel like it.
Yes, it will. Wow, that's good news.
It certainly is. I mean, it was nice to have a warm up. It's not anything too extreme, but this is fall. We want it cooler.
Yeah.
You're already wearing orange. It's kind of a Halloween color.
I know, 'tis the season.
Sounds good. Thank you. LGBT veterans are being honored locally.
Next on News Channel 3, how they're being recognized and how veterans are reacting. You're watching KESQ, the Desert's news leader.
LGBTQ veterans are now being honored with the first of its kind memorial here in the Valley. Today, the CalVet Secretary visited Desert Memorial Park in Cathedral City, the site of the first state LGBTQ Veterans Memorial in the country. Many veterans spoke about serving in the military during the time of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, saying this memorial gives them a sense of pride.
It's the only monument dedicated to gays and lesbians and transgender who gave their lives in the battlefield of war.
The bill that made this a California memorial was written by local state assemblyman Eduardo Garcia.
Now, Coachella Senior Center is expanding. A groundbreaking ceremony was held this morning at the Eleanor Senior Center to celebrate the addition of 2,000 square feet and new improvements to the center, including a bathroom remodel and more parking spaces. The $2 million project is being paid for with revenue from Measure U, the 1% sales tax increase passed by voters back in 2014. The coordinator for the Senior Center says this has been a long time coming.
We're too crowded in here, and I'm blessed, and everybody's just excited that this is happening now and right here at the Senior Center.
The expansion will be completed by the end of 2019. It's part of Coachella's Pueblo Viejo revitalization plan. Sports is up next tonight at 11, a thrilling Water Polo League championship between Xavier and La Quinta. Highlights and post-game reaction ahead.
Plus, the Dodgers trying to even up the World Series tonight in Boston against the Red Sox in Game 2 of the Fall Classic. Blake will break down just what happened. You're watching KESQ, the Desert's news leader.
This is the best local sports show with sports director Blake Arthur.
We start as we did last night with the World Series. The Dodgers dropped Game 1 to the Red Sox, but look to battle back in Boston tonight in Game number 2. Another cold night at Fenway Park for the Fall Classic. Not keeping the Boston fans from being fired up, though. In the fourth, tied at 1, David Price going for the Red Sox. It's Yasiel Puig coming up clutch with 2 outs. That scores Manny Machado, so LA takes the lead 2-1. But things would unravel in the 5th for the Dodgers. This all, of course, happening with 2 outs. That's been the theme for the Red Sox all series, all postseason, really. A walk puts the Sox in front 3-2. And then J.D. Martinez doing what he does best, driving in runs. Boston's 9 of their 12 runs in the World Series have come with 2 outs. It's actually incredible what they've been able to do. Red Sox win at 4-2. They take a 2-0 series lead over the Dodgers.
We had them on the ropes. I thought that early on we stressed them. We had some situational at bats, got some base runners, took our walks. And the difference is they got the big hit when they needed and we didn't.
Game 3 of the series, Friday in Los Angeles. Rick Porcello against Walker Buehler. First pitch, 5:09 local time. Dodgers desperately needing a win in that one. Staying with the LA theme, the Lakers are winless no more. The Lake Show picked up their first victory of the season in Phoenix tonight. 131-113 the final. 7 Lakers ended in double figures scoring. LeBron had 19 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds in 28 minutes. LA is home tomorrow against the Nuggets. High school sports now. The boys water polo league title was decided tonight in dramatic fashion under the lights between 2 teams loaded with stars in Xavier Prep and La Quinta. Blackhawks have won the last 3 league titles, so the Saints desperately wanting to change that. Xavier up 10-9 in the 4th, but the Blackhawks have Braden Smith, just a beast. We're tied at 10, but here come the Saints. Declan Cooper whips it in there, 11-10 Xavier, and then more Cooper. Look at this, little lob wedge over the goalie. Get your 60-degree out. That made it 12-10. So La Quinta trying to answer, but not on the Albatross. Justin Wickstrand, are you kidding me? Picks it out of thin air, just grips it with his paw. Unbelievable. The Saints, they celebrate in the pool. A 12-10 victory over La Quinta. Xavier Prep, the first ever Desert Empire League champions.
It feels really great. You know, we've been training for this for years now, and just know that it actually came back to, and we're the first team to win DL. It just feels amazing right now. Like this feels good. All the hard training just really pays off if you work for it. So that's the best part about it.
They've beaten us the past 3 years. We made it to finals every year. We haven't really converted on it. So it's really good for us to just put this one in the bag.
Me and Kyle were at this game when we won 4 years ago. And I remember one thing Paul said, he's walked by, hard work. That's it. And that's what it's been. 4 years of hard work, and it's all led to this. I'm on top of the world right now. 1, 2, 3, 6!
Wow, what a wild win. Congratulations to the Saints. Girls volleyball now. More good news for Xavier Prep as they sweep Downey. The Saints advance to the semifinal in Division 4. Unfortunately for Coachella Valley, though, their historic season ends with a loss at Mammoth. The Lady Arabs won their first ever league title in program history this season, but get eliminated in the quarters of Division 8. Nonetheless, a great season for CV girls volleyball. That's it for sports. You're watching the Deserts News Leader.
Okay, it's going to cool off next week for Halloween. That's the good
next
news.
week, right. But this week, we're not done heating up yet. Today we had a high temperature of 94. Friday, Saturday, hottest days of the week. But yes, 80s are just around the corner again, and we can return to normal fall-like conditions for the desert.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Thank you, Haley. That's going to do it for us tonight at 11.
Jimmy Kimmel Live up next. Have a great night.